Welcome back to Is It Still Good, the channel where we watch older films and let you know if they still hold up. Today, we're gonna get into a movie that punched me right in the testicles. But first, let's try to push some paper. Okay, hopefully we sold you guys some books. What Dreams May Come. It's about death, and it stars Robin Williams, and that alone is very meta and weird for me. You know what I mean? To see Robin Williams have to traverse the other side, as it were. So, I'm not even supposed to be doing this review right now. I'm supposed to be doing a chess stream. By the way, I don't know if you guys know that. I stream on Twitch, Trash at Chess content, as you can imagine, you know, and some other stuff. But anyway, I'm supposed to be doing that, and I'm so compelled to do this review right now, I'm just doing it. This movie's on my mind. It screwed me up. I was gonna say in the title that it was the perfect film for art dorks with a death complex, right? Which is true, it is. But it's a lot more than just that. This movie came out in 1998, runs 1 hour, 53 minutes, and it's a fantasy/romance, I guess, directed by Vincent Ward. Subnote, his career was frozen for about 7 years after this. Nobody would work with him. Apparently, this movie bombed. But I don't know about all that. It stars Robin Williams, as I said, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Annabella Sciorra. Okay? I don't know how to say her name, so that's how we're going to say it. Sciorra. Got it? Okay, so Annabella Sciorra plays the wife. And she's great. She reminds me kind of like shades of Talia Shire meets the chick from My Cousin Vinny. Oh, I love her. What's her name? She was Peter Parker's aunt too. Anyway. So yeah, she's very good in this. Annabella Sciorra. Annabella Sciorra is really good in this, as is Robin Williams, of course. I mean, Robin Williams is one of those guys, kind of like Mr. Rogers. We didn't know what we had, and Tom Petty, you know? Like, I keep mentioning Tom Petty is always good, you know? Never mind-blowing, but always good. And if you compare that to a lot of modern musicians, that's excellent. If you're always good throughout your entire career, every time somebody checks in on you, you're doing good, you're producing good stuff. Well, damn, that's pretty great. So that's kind of how I feel about Robin Williams. I mean, he just gave us this amazing body of work. I mean, he's been dead for how long, and I'm still watching movies starring him I've never seen before, such as What Dreams May Come, right? And it's a weird movie. Had mixed reviews. Let me check my notes. My notes are so cluttered. I couldn't stop writing. Lost money at the box office. Robin Williams was an amazing actor. I mean, he just shows such range in this. This touches on things like suicide and where the suicide people go and all this stuff. Full disclosure, I lost a couple of friends to this thing, and it's kind of my mission. It's like if you read the foreword of Unkillable Joe, you know, it's kind of like a theme in my books, like, don't do that, please, you know? Like, a lot of the people that kill themselves are really incredible people, you know, and they feel things very acutely, and they think they have no other option. I'm not going to go on a big suicide rant. Obviously, suicide bad, right? Brave stance, Joe Vallen, I get it. But if you've read my work, you know this has been a cause I've championed for a very long time, mainly because I've been touched by it at a very close level. So this movie covers that, and I really hope that's not what's going on with my friends right now. That'd be really horrible. So on that level, I was like, ugh, this movie's horrifying, right? But it's not. I mean, these things are good to think about once in a while, guys. You have to think about your own mortality. Yes, have fun. I'm not trying to be such a downer, but that's what this movie's about. This movie's a freaking downer.
You've died, Chris.
You have to be a dream, Doc. If I were dead, would I need you to tell me?
I guess you do. Everyone's different.
Okay, it brings up a lot of questions of your own mortality. It's kind of miserable, actually, especially because Robin Williams is dead and he committed suicide. It's like, oh man, what a punch in the gut. That, and a lot of his dialogue with his wife in the film, played by Annabella Sciorra, right, echoes a lot of the dialogue I was having with my ex right before we split. Right? Oh, both of their kids died too. By the way, they died in a car accident. It's that kind of movie. Everybody's dead, right? So he's got to go down into hell where the suicides are, and they're forever down there because they're forever in denial. They never really know what happened to him. Or something. And he's got to go down there and get her. Well, guess what? Robin Williams committed suicide, and I really hope that's not where he's stuck. What an awful thought. So if you're a Robin Williams fan, watching this movie is really going to be like, ooh, shit. I hope that's not happening. Just my 2 cents. There was like a weird part in the beginning where a bird shit on Robin Williams' face. It got really goofy for a bit. And Cuba and Robin Williams, they were super goofy in the beginning, and then they sort of started growing, some good chemistry. There's some good moments there. I started liking Cuba a lot more. I don't know. It's kind of like the Ghost Matrix, like he's kind of like the Neo of Ghosts in the beginning, but then it turns into something else entirely. Mostly reminded me of my situation, my current situation. And I was like, shit. Great. I was doing fine. Okay? And then I gotta watch this stupid movie. And Robin Williams, our wife, is saying a lot of the same stuff my ex was saying. And he's saying a lot of the same stuff back. And I'm like, oh man. Great, that's what I needed right now. But let me tell you something. This film punched me in the gut in a lot of ways, especially because of the recent thing. And I had to withdraw right after and kind of go to bed and just be like, ugh. I woke up in the morning and I realized that I had passed through kind of one of the stages of grief. I felt like a bit kind of better. So this movie may do that for you. It's going to remind you of a lot of dead people you broke up with and are gone and you miss. But it's best to not be together. This couple goes through that throughout the whole thing. I'm really disregarding my notes and I'm going off on a tangent here because this movie was very weird for me. I had a period of about 6 months, not too long ago as well, where I was having these really crazy, what you would call extremely lucid dreams, where I was roaming around what I considered was the other side, interacting with ghosts. And if you want to know more about that, read my third book. Comes out sometime in 2023. Don't know when, haven't finished it. Anyway, you can't convince me that I didn't see what I saw. Now, was it a lucid dream? Maybe, yeah, sure. I'll give you that. What I'm saying is I think I have a strong idea of what may be going on in at least my reality. This movie brings up the fact that everybody could have their own universe and own reality, and that's why you couldn't run into certain people. Some people are suicides and or are in denial of their own deaths, and they just kind of wind up in hell because they don't know what's going on. That's kind of horrible. Stuff like that, according to this film. Now, according to what I saw, some things actually do match up and kind of freak me out. And if you want to see really kind of accurately what I saw, or at least more accurately what I saw, the film Wrist Cutters hit really close to what I saw. I saw Wrist Cutters first, so you could argue that it was an influence in the lucid dream, and I thought I was witnessing the other side, but it wasn't exactly like Wrist Cutters either. Wrist Cutters was far more detailed than what I saw. What I saw was much more wispy, more memories of self than yourself, So, read my third book. It's all about that. Anyway, I don't know. I hope ghosts never visit when you're shitting or masturbating. That was a thought I had that kind of picked me up. The ghost city is kind of goofy. The ghosts move around kind of goofily. It brought up a lot of thoughts of dead people I miss and, exes and stuff like that. I do remember how brokenhearted ghosts seemed in my kind of dream-like adventures. And they all seemed kind of bummed out and brokenhearted. You get that sense in this. It's weird though. They kind of switch bodies and appearances based on who they knew in life. I didn't see any of that, but again, what do I know? Some ghost stuff seems to check out. I don't know. It just seems kind of legit in this. Some of it seems really goofy and outlandish and silly, and I laughed at it. And other parts I was like, that seems kind of familiar. It's kind of eking me out. But the story was by Richard Matheson. He wrote this, and I have to say, he probably wrote a really beautiful story. I think Vincent Ward got a little carried away with his own hubris and the effects and the world he was trying to create. I think in his head, he thought he was making the, Avatar or something. But it kind of came out pretty silly. Annabella Sciarra is actually a little too authentic for me. Concerning mental health stuff, she's a suicide in this, as I said, but it shows her decline. She's a phenomenal artist, and Robin Williams' ghost is inhabiting one of the paintings she had painted until he realizes that Cuba Gooding is his son masquerading as Cuba Gooding, which I believe is some form of, spectral appropriation. I don't know what you would call that. Pretty funny, though. And, all these, people in their life are kind of, just pretending to be somebody else. He sees his dead daughter, his dead son, reunites with them, then goes to hell to hang out with his wife for an eternity. It's cold and shitty down there because she killed herself. I don't know. I mean, it's very heavy because Robin Williams was a suicide, and I don't know how I feel about this one. I need your guys' help on this. I mean, what the hell number rating do you give something like this? I really hate that I boxed myself into a corner with this whole rating system, because now I have to rate a film like this, which is a total corkscrew. It's not even really a film. It's more like, hey, remember all the dead people you know? Yeah, guess what? They're still dead, and some of them could be going through this shitty stuff. Some of them could be super happy. I hate that segregation, that some of my friends that are dead are thrilled. Some of my friends that are dead are just laughing and playing Quidditch out there in the fucking whatever with a naked Cuba Gooding. That's great. That's great for you guys. Good for you. But my other buddies that are down there with Annabella, Shiori, you know, all paranoid and freaked out and cold. She was like just stuck in her house and it looked all shitty and it was like flooded. She was just sitting there in a puddle of water, just like crying. Yeah, that's great. That's great, Vincent Ward. That's also great, Richard Matheson. So I'm not mad at you guys, but you know what? You did punch me in the balls, and I gotta say, if I meet either of these two cats in person, I'm gonna have a word. Because, I don't know if they're alive. And if they're not, I hope they're not dealing with whatever they portrayed in this film, because, man, it like brought up like 8 emotions at once, and I just ended up being bummed out. I don't know why I'm laughing. It's just weird. Like, I don't know. This movie just... Again, good suggestion by my friend, terrible timing. But the next day I was feeling better, and today is the next day. And I'm recording this. That's why I'm recording this. That's why this is a bit longer. I'm going to try to chop this down to a reasonable length, but damn, there was a lot of things to cover in this. I'm sorry, guys. Whew. Who's seen What Dreams May Come? Can you please help me out in the comments? This is one of those videos, guys, where you're going to need everybody in the comments to help us out. You know? We're going to need some discussion on this one to get to the bottom of it. I don't know what I just saw, but it's weird. And Robin Williams is super dead from suicide, and like, whoa, that's what this whole thing's about. He never gives up. Never give up. Never give up. Then he decides he's going to give up and stay in hell with the suicides at one point. Then in real life, he gave up and committed suicide. Whoa. You know, let me know what you think. Please, I need your help. So thank you for watching, guys. I postponed the Blade review to do this because Blade is simple for me. It's straightforward, and I can make that a shorter review. I get it. I get Blade. I do not get What Dreams May Come. So I'm going to just give it a wild stab at 7 out of 10. It's all I can think to do right now is give it a 7 out of 10. It's kind of shitty in some parts and it's kind of dumb. And then in other parts, it just, like I said, kicks you right in the testicles. So, I mean, is it a shitty, weird, dumb movie? No. Anything that makes you feel that strongly can't be bad art, right? That's why the 7 out of 10, just because it hit me really hard. Forget what my eyes saw. Like, it's just like all the thoughts that flooded me were like, whoa. And yeah, maybe it's just the time in my life where I'm dealing with a lot of stuff, sure. But at the same time, I bet this movie's going to hit a lot of you in the yarbles too. So give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Sorry for the long-winded rant. And who knows what footage I probably slapped over this. But I'm done. Go watch this movie this week. Next week will probably be Blade. I'm assuming. I'm hoping. I'm going to try to get that one done next. And then give me some suggestions. Remember, we have a Patreon where your suggestions go to the top of the pile and some other perks. My audiobooks will be there eventually. PDFs are on there now. So that's about it. And I'll see you guys next time on Is It Still Good?
I mean, it's Greek in that sense, like Orpheus and Eurydice, that a love so strong that would drive you to someone even after you're, to go to hell for someone, to be, he is connected. But amongst that, it's almost, the journey is also going back through your own life and saying, how have you lived your own life, and what were, and then he has to kind of go back and realize, oh, there's the key. I was terrified, I didn't go with you. I wouldn't join you because in the end I was a coward, afraid to experience that type of loss. And then in the end, it's when you give up everything. It's almost Buddhist in that sense, that you finally achieve, oh,